Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today on Tuesday, February 11th with another weekly cross-stitching update. And to start off the update this week, I am going to be talking about my new start, which it was February 6th, which is my sister's birthday. Me and her both decided that we were going to do a new start. She started Mirabilia and I ended up starting a full coverage project because I just apparently am addicted to full coverage cross-stitch. And I ended up starting Rainbow Basin. It's artwork by Emperor Pep and charted by Tilton Crafts. And I am loving the colors in this chart so much that I don't want to put it down. So here's where I got to. I worked on it one day, and in that one day I managed to do 2,000 stitches because I did not want to put it down. I am stitching this on 36 count even weave, 1/1 10 stitch. And the even weave is by Fabric Flare, and I found it on 123 Stitch, and I love it so much. So you can see that there's like a star coming in right there, and there's a bunch of blues that were super fun to stitch with. And I was happy because I was actually able to grid the fabric. So it's the Fine Point Mark Be Gone pen. You can find it at Joann's and on Amazon, and it's fairly pointy. I don't know how well going to show it, but I've used this to grid. I use it on 28 count, and I've also used it on the 36 count, and I didn't have any issues gridding it. I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to grid it, and then I would have been miserable trying to stitch without a grid because I stitch all of my full coverage projects with a grid. So yeah, and I'm also using the PVC scroll frame, which I had made previously. I think it was a couple videos ago, and I am enjoying it so far. It's easy to, like, if I'm storing the project, I can loosen it so that it's not super tight and stretched out when it's being stored, or you can just roll it tighter, and it works. So I'm liking that. And yes, so I'll probably be keeping that project out again and working on it more throughout the next week because I am using it for one of the full coverage, Full Coverage Fanatics on Facebook. They have the National Parks Challenge, and I am using that one for one of the parks. So I need to get 8,000 stitches because it's 10 stitch. So you need to do 4,000 stitches for each park. If it's 10 stitch, you need to do double, and I am at 2,000. So I still need to do another 6,000 stitches on that before I get it put away. So I need to work on it. So the other things that I worked on, I'm going to show you my next projects are stitching where I'm stitching all black. So it's kind of boring, which is why Rainbow Basin is a nice change from these projects because that's colorful. These ones are not. So for Magical Stitches homework, one of the homework challenges was to stitch on something that has food you wouldn't like to eat. And so I decided that I would pull out Dear Alice by Artisy because it has mushrooms and I don't like mushrooms. And here's where I was before I started the challenge. And here's where I got to. I think I did 400 stitches of black. I am stitching this on 18 count 2/1 full cross, and I am stitching it extreme cross country by color. So I'm completing the color with the most stitches, and then I will stitch the color with the next most amount of stitches and keep stitching it like that. And that means that right now I am stitching all black. So it's super fun. It's not that bad, because it's easy to stitch when you just have to pull out one color, and then you don't even have to think about changing colors or anything, you just stitch. It's nice. So I did that, 400 stitches. And then another chart where I'm stitching all black right now is Taro Town 2 by Ciro Marchetti, and I will insert here where it was previously, and more black. So I'm stitching this on 22 count Hardanger 2/1 full cross, and it's very thick. I prefer 18 count over 22 count for the full coverages because 22 is too thick, and you can kind of see like there's like a stitch there, but the stitches around it are so thick that you can almost not see that there is something that needs to go in there. So yeah. And the way I'm stitching this one right now is I am filling in here where the trees are going to be going, and then everything that's below there right here is going to be filled in with black. So I just want to kind of get the edges done with the confetti stitches so that I can just focus on filling all this in while I'm just like watching a show or doing something, and I don't need to focus too much on counting. I think there are 17,000 stitches of black left in this chart, and I think that I want to finish all of those black stitches first before I go, and then kind of start doing this one cross country by color too, because I'm enjoying that on Dear Alice. So I think that's what my plan might be for this chart, is to just focus on all the black first and then do something, pick the next color next. So there's that one. And then on Sunday, I ended up working on Game of Thrones by, who's that by? Tilton Crafts. And it's a limited edition chart. I don't know if they still have any left. And I'll insert here where it was before. And here is where I am now. I ended up going back to the diagonals, and so I've been filling in this diagonal from the bottom and going up. I am stitching with 20 stitch wide diagonals, and previously I had been using 10 stitch wide diagonals, but I think I like having a slightly wider diagonal to work with. And I think I did, how many stitches did I get done on that? I need to see. I think I only did like 300 stitches on it on Sunday. And so yeah, that's where I got to. And I think that when I stitch on this one, I might want to stitch and finish his cheek though. Like, I want to get back to the diagonals, but I also want to fill in that cheek, because right now he looks kind of creepy having his cheek partially gone. And then I'm stitching this one on 28 count even weave, 1/1 full cross. So there's that. And then the last project that I worked on was one that I worked on for Magical Stitches homework. So one of the homeworks was to stitch on a project that has beads in it. And so I decided that I would pull out Kita by Pinky the Pink on Etsy, and I'll insert here where she was previously, and this is where she is now. So all these empty spaces here, right in there, are all going to be beads. There's empty spaces where the gold is, and those are going to have beads too. And what I worked on though was I worked on this blue part on both sides. I brought it up. Right here is where the blue ends, and then there's going to be gold here for like a waistband, and then there will be obviously the top part of the dress afterwards, but I reached the top of the blue for her waist. And then I also filled in a little bit more of the gold, and I think my plan for the gold is to just do like a strand at a time when I pull it out, and then not get burnt out on the DMC light effects, because it sucks to work with, and so doing a little bit of DMC at a time makes it so that it's not too unenjoyable. Yeah, so I think that I might keep her out though for a little bit more. You can see her hand is going to go here, so I kind of want to stitch her hand in to see how that's going to look, because it's exciting to get to something that's other than just dress. So, and I am stitching this 2/2 on 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. Yes, there's that. So that is everything that I stitched on. I still have not purchased anything, which is amazing. I have avoided everything. There is a sale on the Heaven and Earth website, I think. I think it started today. I didn't look because like I said, I'm trying not to buy anything, but I've avoided the sale, and like that's always a plus to not look when there's a sale, because those sales will get you every time. And so right now I'm just trying to focus more on stitching what I have and not looking at other things, because I don't need other things. I have so much that I need to do. But yeah, so trying to focus, trying not to get sucked in by new things. It's going good so far. So I think that's all that I have to show. I think that next week I'm going to keep stitching on all the things that I had showed in this video, because I am enjoying all those projects and the full coverage projects. So that would be Dear Alice, Taro Town, and Rainbow Basin. I am using all of those for the National Parks Challenge, so I need to get the 4,000 or the 8,010 stitches in for all those projects, and then I will put them away. So I think that's what my plan will be, is to rotate projects after I finish my National Parks Challenge. So that will be the goal, is to just keep trying to get the stitches in for that challenge and then rotate. So I think that's all that I have for this video. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I hope that you all have been getting a lot of good stitchy progress, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.